a blessed day from Jerusalem. Of course, I'm looking towards the east. This is the Hebrew University campus over there, and I can see the Mormon University, the BYU Mormon University, and then I can see the Lutheran Ascension Tower. Maybe you can remember that road over here when the bus drops us next to the school over there, and then we walk over here by the walls of the city, and then we turn right towards the Bethesda Pools, St. Stephen's Gate or the Lion's Gate. Take a look at parts of the wall over here. That's the Ottoman wall that was built in the 16th century. And you can see what the Ottomans did, that they destroyed lots of the places inside the city to build this defensive wall. You can see the change of stones as we walk from different periods. You can see the openings up there where the bird or the dove is. Okay. So I'm walking along the walls of the city. In ancient times, there would never be this section over here because we are on an elevated artificial hill, because we are inside the Kidron Valley now that was wider, deeper, and it separates the city from the Mount of Olives that we will see in a couple of minutes. But you can see the bedrock, the change of stones over here, and then the bedrock, how the city or the walls of the city are built on. The big question mark is, did the Ottomans follow the line of the ancient wall during Jesus' time? That is to say, the 1st century AD. You can see the bedrock over here. You can see the chiseling as well, the markings as we walk. So the Muslim cemetery is just next to us. Sometimes we walk through the Muslim cemetery. You can hear the bells as I approach towards St. Stephen's Gate. You can see this is a real phenomena over here, that we have the stones down there, the small stones, and then the bedrock in the midst, and then other stones that are built above, like a small tower overlooking the Kidron that is behind us to secure parts of the city. And this is very true in the year 70 AD, when lots of the rebels were situated on the walls of the city, not the same walls that we see now, but different walls. And when the Romans were attacking the place over here, especially the 10th Legion, I can see how the olive trees are really blooming. Maybe this year we'll have a better year with olives and oil than the last year. So I'm walking along the walls of the city. I just want to point out a couple of important things that are excavated, but unfortunately there's a problem with publishing what was found. Now we'll talk about it in a minute. This is again the Muslim cemetery and the Mount of Olives on the other side. Look at these decorations over here, reused of course. Another one over here, reused by the Ottomans, who ruled over here for more than 400 years. And then after the First World War, they lost lots of the places that they used to control. They were rooted down to Egypt. Lots of them were rooted down to Egypt by the British. And now I'm talking about this. part over here that some of the archaeologists claim that these are Ayyubids. That is to say, the 12th century onwards. You can see, of course, parts of the destruction that happened over here. That would be the Turkish wall, and then that would be from different periods. There's an argument about it that talks about that small gate over here, and lots of the fortification that you can see on that side are Byzantine, and maybe just below it exactly is the 1st century AD fortification and parts of the wall that would lead you exactly behind that wall to St. Anne's Church, Bethesda Pools. Okay, you can see the big stones over here that are destroyed. You can see especially that one that has a frame around it, and that we call the signature of Herod the Great. Okay, reused by the Crusades, reused by the Muslims. Anyways, if you have lots of stones around, you don't have to go to a quarry to quarry your stones. All you have to do is destroy that building and then build whatever you want, of course. Parts of maybe a ritual bath or a cistern that we can see over here, because you can see the plaster around the stones to keep the water clean and cool. You can see the entrance exactly down here. And then if you continue walking a little bit, we'll be reaching the famous St. Stephen's Gate. And actually this is the second gate that is well known as St. Stephen's Gate, because Damascus Gate was known as the original St. Stephen's Gate, but because it was a weakness point, the Turks could never afford letting the Crusades meet over there, so they shifted to this gate over here. And you can see Mount of Olives with Mary Magdalene's Russian church, and then below it is exactly the Garden of Gethsemane down there to the right. So that would be the Kidron, and then here I am going straight towards St. Stephen's Gate. This is the path that we use with pilgrims as a shortcut when the bus drops us on the other side, and then we cut from here, or we go through here, and then we stand in front of St. Stephen's Gate or Lion's Gate or the Tribes Gate, so as to go into the city to visit Bethesda Pools. You can see the entrance to the city, the Muslim quarter, and then you can see the two lions up there. That's why it's called Lion's Gate. Have a blessed day from Jerusalem. I hope you enjoyed it.